good evening. Hope someone is listening to me or watching live. I welcome you to another time with me, LADYGWEN, and it's Let's Talk with LADYGWEN. I'm sorry I was meant to come live at 4 o'clock. This interview was supposed to be live at 4, but the fuel scarcity in Lagos State in Nigeria, just made me to, I got stuck at the filling station. So, but hey, here we are, thank God. And I'm so happy, that I can do this with you this beautiful Sunday evening. Well, I want to appreciate everyone that is joining and that might be joining later, probably to watch even on my YouTube channel, across board, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. I want to thank you in advance to say thank you. All right, I see you, Auntie Sumbo. How are you doing? It's been quite some time. It's good to have you join me. And I hope, I catch up with you online when you're in the studio every now and then. Well, before my guest comes in, we did say that we will be reevaluating 2022. Are there some goals that you've set aside? Are there things you thought, to do at the beginning of this year, 2022? Did I say 2020? I'm sorry, 2022. So probably there were some things you outlined and you told yourself you were going to do, and some things that you wanted to do and you had set your goals when the year started or when the year commenced, and you're wondering what's happening to those goals. Okay, so tonight we're going to find a way to make sense out of some things going on in our lives so that at the end of 2022, it's not like you're feeling left out and you're wondering, has God forsaken you? Because this is what happens once we cross into, the, should I say, half of the year, there is always this feeling of being left out. A lot of times we feel left out. A lot of times we feel like we have not achieved. We feel like we have not performed. We feel like we are not productive. We feel like we're stuck. Our lives, isn't just making sense that it should be. I want to just say to you that it is for you to recalibrate and for you to reevaluate yourself and not to feel like something is missing out or the world has left you. Even when 2022 does come to an end by God's grace, and you've still not achieved a lot of the things you set out to do, this is what I will still tell you. Keep hope alive, because sometimes you see every other person achieving great things and you're feeling like, you've not done much, you've not achieved anything. It does kind of make someone to be depressed, okay? I understand that feeling. I've been there. And the moment you keep feeling that you're not achieving while every other person has achieved something, God bless social media. We see a lot. We see a lot of people, what they post, they've achieved this, they've done this degree, done that certificate, maybe gotten married, maybe gotten promotion, changed jobs, and, things like that, relocated, from one state to another and all of that. And you're feeling like you're stuck, you're feeling like nothing is moving, you're just static. I think this particular session with my guest tonight is for you. Okay, I've been there and I'm still there, because sometimes in life you find yourself truly, from all, scenery, from all things of life, it's the fact remains, that you're actually, stuck. Your things are not really moving. Really, that's the truth. But how do you fix your reality with bringing hope alive? How does all of that, how do they align in the context of achievement and productivity? So I guess these are some of the things we'll be talking about with my guest tonight. Okay, he's a personal and business strategy coach. But in the meantime, before I have him brought online, is joined me already. Before I have him brought online, I'd like to tell you, if you're in Lagos State, okay, if you're in Lagos State, this coming Friday, I will be at the book review of Lara's Lessons. This book is wonderful, especially those of you who are believing God to be parents or who are parents. You know, this book is going to, what word? I'm trying to look for a word, okay? But I think you should go get this book. At the same time, if you can, join us at Quintessence in Lagos State, Ikoyi. I will be right there, also by God's grace, moderating the book review with Ronke Giwa Onofua, okay? So Ronke Giwa Onofua is one of the A-list broadcasters in Southwest Nigeria, and she's taken her time to write this book, Lara's Lessons. I will be there once again Friday by God's grace, 1 p.m. at Quintessence, all right, for the book review. And like I said, I will be moderating, and I would love to see you right there. So let's get down to the business of today as I bring on my guest, David Olayiwola, right? This will be a great 1 hour, you know, with talking goals and review of our goals, recalibration, and, you know, taking into retrospect the things that we hope that is going to happen for the second half of the year 2022. Well, in case you remember your goals, good for you. And if you don't, okay, well, all the same, please ensure that, my dear brother, I've invited you. I don't know if you've seen my link, but let me see what else can be done so that we can get this conversation started. Okay, so that we can kick off this conversation. Right, my name is LADYGWEN, in case you're wondering, okay, in case this is your first time. Oh, he's unable to join, why? I don't know why that is. Okay, I'm sending you another invite. So I've sent you another invite. So please look at it if you can join. And I'm hoping and believing God that, you know, tonight we're going to have a great conversation with my guest tonight, David Olayiwola. And as I said earlier on, it is for us to talk about, you know, something that nudges us into the year 2022. I know, you know, I remember last year someone was like, oh, I need to do a goal setting session, help people to navigate into 2022. We never had that session, but I felt there were so many other platforms, other people doing goal setting and all that. And I felt, okay, well, you know, let other people go ahead, you know, and all that. But as we kick into the year, I have noticed that, you know, there is always this tiredness, there is always this exhaustion. People are always exhausted and uninteresting or uninterested, you know, in the year, about the year and all of that. So it's great to have you join me, my dear brother. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, thanks a lot. I think I appreciate being here too. Sorry, I think I had a a technical glitch trying to link up initially.
Right. Yeah, I noticed that, but that's fine. It's great to have you join me. Quickly, I did say that you're a personal and business coach. What exactly do you do, David, for people, for organizations, so that people can have a bit of your background?
Okay, basically, in the personal space, we do one-on-one coaching, life coaching. Basically, what we do basically in the life coaching space is we help you to achieve your goals. We don't help you. We don't make that decision for you, but we guide you through making that decision. And these are cut across every area of life, whatever you want to do, career goals, personal goals, projects, whatever. We help individuals to help them achieve their goals. And in the business space, I do soft skill training in general, different type of soft skill trainings for organizations, and I do general business consulting that has to do with business analysis,
Right.
sales training, business development, and all of that.
Right. Great. Fantastic. And I think it's you're the right person for us to talk to tonight. You know, talking about finding that compass and gauge for 2022. Now, where do we start from? People have set goals, and there is always this thing, you know, about the year when, especially when you know that the year is like fast running, coming to a closure. You know, we are in the seventh month of 2022, and
Yeah.
it just looks like a lot of people haven't achieved so much. You know, for those who haven't achieved so much yet, they have their goals out there. What kind of mindset should we even have in the first place?
Okay, that's a very good one. Let me start by saying we cannot talk about goals achievement without talking about goal setting. So let me pick it from the point of goal setting, because sometimes goals are not well set, or let me say we don't have smart goals from inception, then it gets complicated to achieve those goals. Now, so yes, we have that word or that acronym SMART that we've read in many books. But the truth is, when you want to do your New Year resolution, when you want to set your new goals and budgets in the personal space or in the business space, how good did you take cognizance of what forms the words that put up together the acronym SMART? So when setting your goals, if your goals are not smart, you make it so complicated and so difficult for you to achieve. Now, so SMART is not is what we know SMART. Yeah. So so the word S there stands for your goal. It needs to be specific. If your goal is not specific, you make it complicated for yourself to achieve at the end of the day. So many times you see a lot of people that somewhere along the line, they get to review their goals for the year, or for some time, it's not achievable because from inception they did not set a SMART goal and it's not specific. Now, M there talks about measurability. Your goals needs to be measurable. Now, so what do you want to do? Okay, sometimes you see people, they're like, okay, I'm weighing 150 in my size, my weight. Then by the end of the year, I want to cut down to 75, 80. Now, so now, what are the ways that you want to get this done? You have to put yourself a parameter to be able to measure it. Right. That's why we're looking at the word gauge there. If you look at the two words we have there in the topic, we look at there are two salient or germane words that are used there. We have the word compass, which talks about the compass is talking about vision, how you look at it into the future. a panoramic view. Now, the second word there is gauge, and which is talking about measurability, and which I've just talked about in that second acronym, that the word M. Now, the second one is A, and it talks about achievable. Your goal needs to be achievable. If it's not achievable, a lot of people set unrealistic goals. They set goals that are not seemingly achievable at the beginning of the year or at the end of the year, 31st, when they said, I'm doing a new year, new resolution, I'm setting goals for the new year and what have you. But if your goals are not, they're not smart, they're not specific, they're not measurable, they're not achievable, then you're setting yourself up even as you go through trying to achieve those things for the year. Then we talk about S, we talk about M and A. Then the next one there is R. R talks about being realistic. Your goal needs to be realistic. You need to be real to yourself. You need to know that this is a realistic goal. Sometimes some people, you look at yourself, how much are you earning at the beginning of the year? What qualification have you got? What skills have you got? But you are looking at it. The only goal that you have just set for yourself is by 31st December this particular year, I want to buy 2022 G-Wagon. And you live in a room, you're probably just a graduate, you've not had any other additional skills, you've not had any other thing to fine-tune yourself. What personal development are you actually doing at the moment? So, and the goal you have just set for yourself is by the end of the year, I want to be cruising a factory-fitted, full option G-Wagon 2022. Now, my brother, my sister, the truth is you are deceiving yourself. That goal is not realistic. That's the truth. Or you just say all of the blues. You want to have a company of yourself, and you want to have 50 people on your payroll that you'll be paying salaries. Now, what have you done? What structure have you put in place? Have you even gotten your business name registered? Have you started anything? What are the structures that you have put in place to start doing all of those things that you want to get done? So the truth is, you just put it on the paper, you are not realistic with what you're doing. So at the end of the day, you get it so complicated for yourself to achieve, and that's it. So we've talked about S, M, A, R, and the last one is T. Your goal. Your goal needs to be time bound. If your goal is not time bound, you are deceiving yourself. You need to set your goal, and it has to be time bound. I will need to take that question a little bit further, talking about your goal being time bound there, if you will allow me at this junction. Now, you need to set your goal, and it has to be time bound, because generally we have three classes of people, or three types of people when it comes to goal setting and goal achievement. There are three set of people, or three types of people. Now, number one class of persons that we have is people that don't set goals at all. We have people that they run through the year, they do their stuff, and the truth is they don't set goals at all. Now, the principle of these people, I've met quite a number of them, and I've told them that their philosophy, their school of thought to life, when it's come to this, is wrong. Now, the way that they see life, they believe in what will be, will be. What will be is a dumb philosophy when it comes to goal setting and achievement. What will be will never be, because life itself will never give to you what it wants. Life will give to you what you take out of life. I'm not saying life is difficult, life is good, but the truth is things will never gravitate towards you. You need to reach out to get things done. Nature, the universe, the globe as a whole will start getting things in your favor when you know your onions and you know what to do. So we have the first class of people that they don't set goals at all. Their K-legged philosophy of life is what will be, will be. Now, number two class of people that we have are people that they set goals, but they are passive with the goals that they set. They set these goals at the beginning of the year. They get a diary, they put those things and they diarize it. They have 10 things they want to do for the year. Some of them are 12 things, a goal per month, and what have you. Some people even get it so complicated. They have 52 goals, say one per week or whatever. Nothing bad if you know you can multitask, but there is a way you have to break it down. And I'm still going there. So some people, they write those goals down, but they are passive about it. They don't have what we call the strategies and the structure to get those things happen.
Right.
Now, that's the second class of people. Now, the third class of people are people that they actually get it right. They set those goals, they are active, they are committed, they are diligent, and they have strategies to achieve those goals from inception. So, if all of these are not put into consideration, at the end of the day, you are doing like a personal inventory, you are doing like a personal appraisal, you are doing like a personal review of your goals for the year. And I'm telling you, you will see that if you want to be realistic with yourself, you are doing so poorly when you put it on measurement.
Right. Wow. Okay. So let me try and make a retract or retrace, sorry, to say number one thing, why some of us we feel stuck with our goals might just be because those goals are not smart. They are not specific, in nature.
Yeah.
They are not measurable. They are not achievable, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So because they're not smart in a nutshell, and then we just leave them at large to say they're not time. There is no time bound to those goals.
Yeah.
So because I think sometime too, it's like when you don't have a deadline to something, you just sleep on everything and just feel, oh, I have all the time in the world, and that's why for some people they work. Maybe pressure kind of pushes them to achieve more for some people.
Yeah.
And that's why it is necessary for us to have time, to our projects, our goals, and all of that. Now, having understood that, you also went on to say that some people, have that ideology that says, what will be, will be. Que sera, sera. It doesn't matter. Let's just live life, the way it comes. Then I think also for some people, because I had been caught up in this first set of people, to say that some have been disappointed, over and over and over again. You've set goals, some of these goals, you've not been able to nail them year in, year out, nothing is working and all that. It has a way to, to break your heart or to discourage you from setting goals for the next year. I mean, I've heard people say, I set goals last year, even the year before, nothing happened. Why do I need to keep setting some of those goals and all of that? It's tiring. How do we help such people who are losing faith and hope in this area?
Okay. I have one or two suggested solution I want to give in that area. Now, the number one thing that I would like to talk about, that I'm going to pick it from the last word of the acronym SMART we talk about. That's being time bound to what we do and the goals that we set.
Right.
But this time around, we have to break it further a little bit. There's what we call milestone achievements in goal setting and goals achievements. Now, that means that you need to simplify your goals and you need to break it down with strategies to get it done. I'm going to repeat that again. To get milestone achievements, you need to simplify your goals, and then you need to pull down strategies on how to get it done. It's very, very important. Now, the truth is, if you have a goal of what you want to do for the entire year, say January to December, this is what I want to do the entire year. you need to simplify the goals into milestones. Now, having simplified it into milestones, you now need to break it down into your daily routine. That's how to get it done. There is no great achiever in life, in business, in the personal space, every industry, whatever, that don't walk around this, or don't walk with this idea or philosophy. Now, what am I trying to say? If I want to build a skyscraper this year, 2022, I'm not just going to say by December 31st, 2022, I want to have built a skyscraper in the city of Ibadan that is going to be more than 26 story building that will 26 floors, like we know, which is Cocoa House or whatever. Now I have to break it down into milestone that by the end of January 2022, I ought to have acquired the land. Already I have the land. So what I need to do now is, in the next 4 weeks, I want to have strategic meeting with my engineers, my architects, my construction engineer, and what have you. And the outcome of my meeting will determine the next line of action. Now, so then I say, by the end of the first quarter of this year, I ought to have finished the foundation. Now, after that, by the end of the second quarter, we know that what is going to take us to the 5th floor or the 3rd floor, all materials need to be on ground. Then you look at it, by the end of the 3rd quarter, the project must have moved on to the 5th floor or the 6th floor, or whatever thing that you have marked it. And by the end of that, before we go further to take the building up, we are going to do an integrity test for the building to know if it is okay and we can proceed. Now, with that, I have broken down my goal into milestone. And if you look at it, that has actually taken care of all of the words that form the word acronym SMART. So the most important thing, why people get stuck or why people set goals and they are discouraged, is still boiled down to the fact that they don't have their goals set in milestone achievements. Then apart from that, there is a philosophy, or there is a school of thought I tell people to achieve generally as a life coach, and we get to help people walk through over this. Now, failure is sometimes inevitable, but failure is part of the ingredients of success. I'm going to take that again. Failure is sometimes inevitable, but failure truly to successful people is part of the ingredients of success. Now, I'm going to recommend a book, and that book, I read it over a decade ago, but I have actually picked the topic of that book as one of my one of the strategies I use in walking people through when they fail, generally, not only on goal setting. Now, I call it Failing Forward. I don't know if there is still the book in the market, Failing Forward by John C. Maxwell. Now, the truth is you will fail over and over, but you need to adopt what we call the failing forward mindset. You fail forward. Now, sometimes people fail and they keep retrogressing. They keep looking back. They keep retrogressing. Sometimes people fail and they sit on a spot. They want to gather pity party around them. They want people to keep saying sorry. They want people, you know, just to be dancing around them, to be petting them. Now, you put yourself in the pity pit and in a pity party, you're not going to move forward. You need to adopt a failing forward mindset. Yes, right. I set those goals, but I don't get it done last year. But that's not going to stop me from setting it again, because I'm going somewhere. And now you need to understand that success is a marathon race. I repeat it again. Success or achievement in life generally is a marathon race. But now the truth is, even though that we see success as a marathon race, but your yearly achievement is a sprint race. Is a sprint race. You don't look at you cannot achieve all of the things you want to achieve in just 1 year, or in just one month, or in just a quarter. It's not going to work. You are going to achieve those things. Yes, you have to run every year, but you are looking at it from the holistic perspective.
Right.
There's no way. Rome was not built in a day. The conglomerate of Aliko Dangote was not built in a day. Every business starts building a block after block, one after the other, step after step, precept after precept. So that's the perspective you need to look at it. So if you fail this year, you need to set the goal again, adopt the failing forward mindset, and then you are able to help yourself. And another thing I want to recommend before I drop that particular question is that you need to adopt a mindset that I call you consider the internal forces more than the external forces. Now, in the school of life coaching, there is a philosophy we look at when it comes to achievements. Now, having done your personal SWOT analysis, you know there are two positive sides and there are two negative sides. Now, I don't want to bore you with all of that, but the truth is, people talk back to you. COVID happened to life. Your boss fired you. Inflation is beating hard on you. Your uncle promised you 5 billion to start that business and he didn't give it to you. You broke up your marriage, or something ghastly happened, and all of that. There are still external forces.
Right.
You still need to look inward. The only thing that can stop you from failing forward is internal forces. So most times, if you analyze and you do a grid, you adopt a grid that I'm going to be talking about in a moment, maybe after this, you understand that most times what stops people from achieving their goals, they are external forces. They are not actually internal forces. Yeah, thank you.
So you're saying that sometimes the failure we feel mostly, or the things we battle with when it comes to the feeling of failure, you know, is majorly from within?
Yes. No, they are majorly from outside, but you have forces within that can get it done. What we do is we take cognizance and we are too mindful of external forces that naturally should not stop us from achieving our goals. We have those innate powers, potentials, giftings, intellectual capabilities to get those things happen, but we don't harness them. We don't get use of them. We look at what the government is not doing well. The truth is, this year, a lot of people, they've been achieving so much. It's not everybody that achieves so much. They are going the crooked way. I've seen people with a faulty mindset of people that achieve a lot is because they know somebody somewhere, or they are going the crooked way or whatever. I've met guys. I was in Abuja for like 3 weeks, going to 4 months before I returned last year, and I met some people and I see them doing big things for themselves, irrespective of the fact that inflation has gone up to 17% and all that. There's insecurity, there's Boko Haram, people are being kidnapped, what have you, there's Japa problem, there's this and that. You know, there are 1,000,001 things that will discourage you, but the truth is, many of those factors, they are external factors. And when you are so mindful of those external factors, now my uncle promised me 5 million at the end of the year. Yes, I submitted that beautiful proposal. I'm just using that as a scenario now. I submitted that beautiful proposal, and he said, "Oh boy, this is a good one. I'm going to invest this in you. This is probably going to be an equity, or I'm just going to give you this money. I can afford it." And then at the end of the day, life happened to your uncle and is unable to fulfill that promise that he kept. And then
Right.
you keep wailing over that. There's no point crying over a spilt milk. If you're going to cry, you're going to cry forever, and then nothing will happen to you. The truth is that promise was external. Yes, you did justice to it. You have your proposal, you've done your SWOT analysis, you've done your feasibility studies, you've done all your analysis you want to get it done. But the capital did not come from where you have expected. Now, for somebody that is smart, even when you are planning, you must have plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D if possible. So if it doesn't work this way, what are the other options that I have? So now, so when those external things doesn't work, you need to look for options on how to get those things happen. The forces that can keep you moving, the forces that can get you achieve those goals, they are internal forces. And so when you look inward, you see that you have more to get things done. You have more to achieve your goals. You have more to make life beautiful for you, to make life good, than for life to be miserable when you look at those external forces.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what I was trying to say.
Right. I think I get it now. You know, life or all of these things we're talking about is not devoid of those external forces, but then, in other words, as those external forces, militating against us, or working against us, we need to build the internal, to be able to conquer the external. So
exactly, especially when you keep posting negativity.
Very true.
Exactly.
Very true.
Yeah.
I mean, in Nigeria, it's really a tough place to be right now. And, it just brings me to the word of God where Bible said, and David encouraged himself in the Lord, and that encouragement will be that, you see, when you write that proposal and it didn't work out, or you were rejected, or when you applied maybe for that scholarship or grant or something, or you tried doing something, or probably you wanted to lose weight, and then you realize that at the end of 2 or 3 months, nothing is moving. It is not for us to give up, all right, but for us to look inward and re-strategize, look at how we're going about our goals. I really do get that. Now, moving on, we did say the aspect of personal accountability. How do we get accountable, to ensuring that we're not slacking? I know that, taking ourselves back to having smart goals and all of that brings the measurement, the gauge we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where does the accountability comes in?
Okay. Now, the accountability comes in with your person. Now, some people are quite realistic and truthful to themselves. But some people, if you know you can't get it done, you may need to have what we call an accountability coach.
Sorry, before you go on, what do you, or probably could you clarify? You said some people are sincere with themselves. Could you clarify that?
Okay. Now, what I mean in that aspect is, if I'm not doing well, and I'm somebody that I'm brutal with myself in getting things done, I know how to nip it on the bud. I know how to deal with myself. I know how to discipline myself to get it done. Now, the truth is, some people they want to break out from some habits, and to break out from that habit is difficult for them because they're not sincere with themselves. For example, some people have smoking habits, and then they want to break out of the smoking habits, and they said, okay, this month I quit, and then he doesn't do that again. And then the next thing, it starts all over again. Insincerity to yourself makes it complex, makes it difficult for you to be able to get that done. So that's the area of sincerity. Now, if you know it's difficult for you to be able to do that. You need to have like an accountability coach. And it doesn't have to be a professional coach. You just have to be somebody that knows the onions, somebody that you can be accountable to, somebody that you can say, okay, this is what I am trying to do, and I want you to watch my space with me. I'm going to be accountable to you. I'm going to be giving you like a report of my appraiser. Let's walk over this together. Let's review this in milestone, like we said before, and that. So that's how the accountability comes. But if you are somebody that you are sincere with yourself, many years ago, like if I want to pick it with that example of breaking habits, I used to be somebody that I was introduced to smoking and such habits when I was very young in my secondary school days. At some point in my life growing up, even in my youth age, and I found a new faith. That's the truth. I found a new faith and I wanted to break that habit. But the truth is, I was a church boy, I was doing stuff and I was doing well, but that habit was still in me. I'm going to lead stuff in church and I'll still go back to what I was doing. That habit was still in me, even though I keep sneaking to do it. But now it got to a point that I'm quite disciplined. If I want to do something, I'm resolute and I'm kind of brutal with myself. And I said, David, you're not helping yourself. Now, this is not Holy Spirit. This is not church. This is not my pastor. This is nothing. This is just me. I need to forge ahead. I don't need this. This is killing me. My lips are getting burnt. It's not healthy. I have to get strong cologne to cover up. I have to get different things now. So that was an habit. So I was just true to myself, looked at myself in the mirror. I said, I'm cutting away with this. I'm not doing this again. Even my brother that introduced me to these has stopped this. So now it's not helping you. Then I was resolute to myself. I was sincere and I stopped it. Yes, some people will say it was God, it was this, it was Holy Spirit, it was this and that. But the truth is, God can only help you when you make that decision and you are sincere to yourself. That's the truth. God can only help you when you are sincere to yourself. God will not be able to help you when you're not sincere to yourself. So if you know you are somebody that you have that level of discipline, then you can always, one way or the other, be accountable to yourself, review what you have done so far so good, and then you are able to review and know your level of achievement per time. You are accountable to yourself. Now, if you know that you are weak in that area, because there are things that are strengths for some people, is also a weakness for another person. You get it? So now, that has to do with your personal SWOT analysis. So if you know you are weak in that area, there's no problem. Every day we pay for our ignorance. What we are not able to do, somebody else get it done for us. Somebody else fixes for us. So there's nothing bad. You have to be accountable to somebody. But whether you are being sincere to yourself, you are accountable to yourself, or you get an accountability coach in order to be accountable for yourself, there's one important thing you need to do. You need to document your progress per time. Having written down your goals at the beginning of the day, you need to document your progress per time. Somebody says it's an old adage and it's still relevant all time and all day, that the strongest brain or the sharpest brain, it is still not as good as the faintest ink. I repeat that again. The strongest or the sharpest brain, it is not still as good as the faintest ink. So whether you are doing the accountability yourself, you need to put pen to paper at every point in time. Okay, this is what I want to do for the first quarter. You've written it down. This is what I am able to do at the end of the first quarter. You have to put it down. Then you are able to compare vis-a-vis what you have done. So you have to put pen to paper at every point in time. It helps your accountability a lot. And at the end of the year, or when you're doing your milestone quarterly review, it helps you to be able to know what you have not done and what you have not done well, or what you have done well and how to get better with it. So I think that's a major thing we need to consider when we're looking at accountability.
And then I heard something loud and clear: discipline. Discipline is also a big issue for a lot of people who have issue with discipline. Your recommendation will be to get an accountability partner, right?
Yes, yes, very important. If you know you are weak in discipline, that's just the truth. You know, I want to stop this, or I want to get this done. It's better you get somebody that will always be on your neck. And sometimes it's even better. Like, for example, I tell people that my wife is my peer. Reason is that apart from the fact that I have all of my schedules, appointment, and all that on Google Calendar, so it pops up a day before or whatever, I always tell my wife to verbally. She's good at that. I don't know, women can multitask a lot. They have their own schedule as well and all that, but they can always still put their own also your own in their own agenda as well. So somehow, technically, even though I can say I have that level of discipline to an extent, she's still my accountability coach. I want to do this. I want to do that. And sometimes I remember those things, even when we are in the market shopping or we are somewhere doing something, then I whisper into her hair that, please remind me, I want to do invoice for so person. Remind me, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. It gets me accountable. And then the moment we get home and I'm sitting on my laptop, I have 1,000,001 things to do. And then she reminds me, remember you wanted to do this, you want to do that, you want to do that. So technically, she's my accountability partner or coach. You understand? So it's important you do that. You have somebody that it may not even be, it can be your friend, it can be anybody, it can be your boss, it can be anybody that you think that is just down to earth and can just help you sail through those goals, and you begin to achieve them one after the other.
Right. So before we go, my should I say my second to the last question is, how do you choose an accountability partner? I know you answered a bit of that. Is should there be some sort of quality you should be looking for in getting yourself an accountability partner? Because you've already said anybody can be your accountability partner, from being your partner, your spouse, your friend, uh, colleague. What would be the criteria for one to look for when you're trying to get yourself an accountability partner?
Well, there's no cast a stone around this, but the basic thing that you actually need to look out for is somebody that is goal oriented personally, and somebody that is down to earth, somebody that loves, that have your interests at heart. Basically, somebody that is goal oriented personally. There's this Yoruba adage that they will say. Let me just try to rephrase or interpret in English as much as I can.
Right.
That if somebody wants to sew a cloth for you, somebody promises to sew a new cloth for you, you are first going to consider the kind of clothes that that person is putting on. And tó bá máa dáṣọ fún ni, táwọn ẹ̀ la máa kọ́kọ́ wò. So what am I trying to say? If somebody is going to be your accountability coaches, it has to be somebody that is goal oriented. A lot of qualifications. Somebody that's got these, that, sometimes in some area, they serve even as my accountability coach, especially when we have projects that we're doing together. So basically, two qualities you have to look out for. Somebody that can be your accountability partner is the person needs to be goal-oriented and result-oriented in person. There's somebody that have your interests at heart and somebody that is down to heart.
Right, right. That's a good one. Someone who has your interest at heart, and probably, you know, going by the adage you said earlier on, is to also say that you should look out for someone who is exemplary. You know,
Yes, yes,
if I say that I want you to be my accountability partner, I should be able to see some milestones in your life or in the things you've achieved. You know, I think
yeah,
that's
correct.
yes. Okay, so I got all of that. Thank you so much. So before we leave, what will be your last word for someone watching or that might be watching later?
Okay, for somebody watching or for anybody that will watch later, I have a recommendation that I want to give on goal setting and goals achievement generally. Now, this particular topic, this should be like the fourth time I'm doing it.
Wow.
I did it with a friend, I did it with another friend, and I'm doing it with you again. Just like I think I've been taking this particular topic like 4 years back or thereabout. And so I always enjoyed it because it's basically my space, and this is what I walk through people every now and then. Now, my recommendation on the final note is what I call the ERR grid. Now, and I'm going to break it down. It's nothing complex. If it was a class that we're doing proper life coaching, there are exercises that we need to do as touching base. But let me just break it down. The ERR grid. ERR, don't mind me because I'm a life coach, we tend to do stuff like that, is also an acronym. It's also an acronym. And now, ERR. Then you have the quadrants. Now, so the first E stand for eliminate. The first E stand for eliminate. That goal set.
Okay.
You need to look at those things that you need to eliminate as you journey through 2022. What are the things you need to eliminate in your life? Maybe habits you need to eliminate. Maybe it's time wasting. Maybe procrastination. Maybe it's a bad friend or whatever. It could be anything. So what are those things you need to eliminate? Now, so you itemize it in that particular quadrant. Now, the second part of the quadrant, which we have the letter R, is raise. Raise. Now, so you're looking at those things that you need to raise. What are the things that you have been doing before? Now, from January 2022 till July 10 today, what are the little achievements that you have gotten so far? Now, the successes recorded so far, you know, those things that you did well, that earned you the successes you have achieved so far, you need to raise them. You need to increase doing them. You need to keep doing those things. You need to put more potential. You need to put more strength. You need to put more energy. You need to pull more weight in doing those things. So that is raise. The things that got you the result you have gotten so far, increase it. Keep doing it. Now, the third part of the quadrant, and that is letter R, it talks about reduce. Reduce. Now, in this particular quadrant, you need to itemize or you need to highlight those things that you need to strike a balance with. Now, we'll talk about eliminate. Those are the things you need to do away totally with. We talk about raise. those are the things you need to increase, things you need to keep doing. If you were doing it 10% before and you got the result you got so far, now you may need to double it, increase it to 30%. You may need to triple your effort or quadruple your effort or whatever. So raise. Now, this one is you need to reduce. Now, in this area, that means you need to cut the excesses. What are those things that you do that you know that, yes, I'm doing it well? But sometimes it's like I am pulling the elastic limit so much. I need to cut my excesses. So that area you need to reduce. Now, I recommend fun as a life coach so much, so it makes you to reboot, it gives you some kind of vigor and some kind of psychological balance back. But sometimes people that we work with, they overdo fun. Now, so all of the money that you have, you want to use it on boozing and cruising and catching your fun. You are shooting yourself in the leg, and you're not going to get those goals done. So those are some of the things that you need to strike balance with. You need to reduce. You need to reduce. Maybe the fun is getting too much, because when the fun is getting too much, you are not just using that to revitalize. You are actually eating deep into your finances, and then you are getting distracted from your goals. So sometimes those are the things you need to reduce. Now, the last part of that quadrant is what I call create. Create. We call it the ERRC grid. Now, so the last part of that quadrant is create. Now, you've looked at what you have eliminated. You've looked at those things you need to raise. You look at those things that you need to reduce. So those things you need to strike a balance with, and those things that you need to cut the excesses with. Now, the last one is create. What is the game changer I'm bringing on board, so that by 2022 December, I'm gonna be celebrating. I'm gonna be pumping the champagne. I'll be able to handle the trophy. I'll be able to press the plate. I'll be able to say, "Oh boy, David, you need a vacation. Now let me go with my spouse to Miami or to Dubai or to Paris." Now, but what new thing are you bringing on board? You need to create. What is the game changer? Time is ticking. Life is going. Things are going fast. And if you don't bring something new on board, you may just keep doing this, the things you are doing the same way. And there is a long saying that says that it's only a madman that keeps doing the same thing the same way and expects a different result. So what's the game changer? What joker are you bringing on board? That's what you need to create. That's reinventing yourself. And sometimes this thing is not like you're bringing something new on board. You may just need to look inward. You may not just need to look at your business model and just adjust some things a little way. You may just need to repackage your product. You may not just need to repackage. You may just even need to change even your graphic designer. It may be something new you need to do. What new thing are you bringing up? You may need to introduce a new product into the market. You may need even just to go to a school or a particular training. That might be the game changer. That might be the thing that will give you a paradigm shift in your business or your way of life or the way you do your business. So that's, in fact, most times I like to emphasize the word create, because it is the game changer. So for everybody watching, for everybody that's going to see this video after, I would just recommend you listen to this till end and adopt what I call the ERRC grid. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. It's really been a very insightful one. And I love this part, ERR. Eliminate, raise, reduce, and create. I think, you know, the fact that there are sometimes, you know, things for us to eliminate in whatever we do, because there are sometimes we just need to totally remove some things, you know, from certain things. And then, for instance, maybe you're sleeping too much, maybe you're watching TV too much, you know, and all of that.
Yeah.
You just can sometimes be things, you know, that distract us, you know. And
Yes.
I think when we talk about, you know, recalibrating for progress, we also, I love that word. We also need to bring in the joker, That's talking about the game
Yeah.
changer. And I love everything
Yeah.
you've just said. I want to thank you
Yeah.
really. And I'm glad you chipped that in because we were about to wrap it up. That's really crucial.
Yeah.
It's really crucial.
Yeah. Yeah.
In all of it, in case someone would like to contact you, what would be your link? What are your links? Do you have products or